Now, if you think the Venezuela issue is over, that Nicolas Maduro was caught by Trump and directly taken to New York, where his case will be tried in a US court, then no, the matter is not over. In fact, I would say to a large extent that this issue has only just begun. Quite possibly, Donald Trump may now have to do heavy bombing in Venezuela, because Venezuela's vice president, Rodriguez, has openly challenged Trump. Here you can see this. This is Nicolas Maduro, when he was in Venezuela as president, before being taken by the USA. And this here is the vice president of his country, Rodriguez. She has very clearly told the USA that Venezuela will not surrender. Venezuela is still a sovereign country. In response to this, Trump has made a very frightening statement. He has said that they may have to pay an even bigger price than what was done to Maduro. That is, when a Delta Force team directly came, captured him, and took him away. Now, videos and photos of this have gone viral across the world, showing how the president of a country was picked up from his own country and taken to the USA. This has never happened before in history. People compare this to Saddam Hussein, but Saddam Hussein's case was different. He was not taken to the US. His trial happened in Iraq. This is the first time in history that we are seeing a sitting president being directly abducted and produced before a US court. You will not find any previous example like this anywhere in the world. The US has set a completely new precedent. In fact, Spain and 5 Latin American countries, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Uruguay, have all issued a joint statement saying that this unilateral military operation in Venezuela is wrong. Along with that, they have also warned against Trump's plan to control Venezuela's oil, that the US will now run Venezuela's oil economy. All these countries have warned against this as well. By the way, let me tell you something interesting. In India, several political parties, including the Communist Party of India, have declared that they will protest across the country against the way the USA has captured Venezuela's president. And such protests are happening in many countries right now. Political parties in several countries are protesting against the US because Trump's plan regarding Venezuela is massive. If this gamble, and I will clearly call it a gamble, pays off, the US could make billions of dollars from it. Already, if you look today, American oil companies like Chevron and Exxon, their shares are up by 10 to 11%. Anyone who knew on Thursday or Friday that the US was going to carry out this operation and capture Maduro would have made a lot of money. Perhaps many people already did, because such information often leaks. Now the question you might ask is, the world already knows that Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. Underground oil that hasn't yet been extracted, Venezuela has more than anyone else. So how will the US benefit from this? I'll show you some numbers. These numbers will literally explain why Trump played such a huge gamble and why he doesn't care what India, China, or Russia say. Right now, Trump only sees money. Venezuela has a total of 300 billion barrels of crude oil reserves that hasn't yet been extracted. These are proven reserves. The world knows this oil exists, and it could even be more. With deeper drilling, it could go up to 400 billion barrels. But for now, 300 billion is fairly well verified. Now, when Trump says the US controls this oil, it doesn't mean all the oil becomes America's. The real question is, who will extract this oil and who will sell it? Trump wants American companies to control that process. As long as Venezuela has its current government and vice president, they will oppose Trump. And it doesn't look like Trump has simply won Venezuela's oil yet. There will be many difficulties ahead for him. But let's estimate something. Today, the international price of oil per barrel is around $57. If you multiply that with 300 billion barrels, Venezuela's oil reserves are worth roughly $17 trillion. Some countries' GDP, which we consider huge, has just crossed $4 trillion. Even if you multiply Japan's GDP by 4, it still doesn't reach $17 trillion. Trump wants this wealth. If American companies get control over this oil, they will make insane amounts of money. Unlimited money. Trump has literally stated that under Nicolas Maduro, oil wasn't even being extracted properly because the government was corrupt and people weren't benefiting. Now American companies will go there with technology, rapidly produce oil, sell it, and generate profits. That's what Trump sees. Let me give you a simple example. I'm not saying the US will sell all the oil overnight, but even if half of it is sold, that's $8 trillion worth of oil. Now the real question is, will Trump actually get this treasure? Because Venezuela still has a military. In many historical cases, countries have even set their own oil fields on fire rather than hand them over. Could that happen here too? For now, Trump cannot declare victory. However, a Trump video has surfaced where he says,
"A place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition." So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country.
That's an extremely big statement. It means the US will run Venezuela. This is terrifying. If you have military power, you bomb a country's capital overnight, abduct its president, and then declare you'll run the country. This is jungle rule. Might is right. International law and order mean nothing here. The only rule left is power.
Until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so.
Trump has also said that if needed, they are ready to launch a second, much larger attack, and American oil companies will go to Venezuela. Officially, they say they'll improve infrastructure, but everyone knows the real goal is oil. Here's a very interesting point. During Trump's election campaign, he needed money just like every candidate. Kamala Harris raised billions. Trump also received huge funding. During that campaign, Trump promised major American oil companies that if they donated $1 billion, he would give them a fantastic deal. You can see this reported. Trump said the U.S. running Venezuela wouldn't cost anything because American oil companies would rebuild Venezuela's energy infrastructure. We are going to run the country, Trump said. As for oil, it's going to make a lot of money. So yes, this is deeply connected to the promises Trump made to big corporations during his campaign. This is not about the American people, and it's not about the Venezuelan people. It's about rich companies getting richer. Their stocks will soar. Oil prices might drop slightly, but that's only if Trump's plan actually works. And that's a big if, because Venezuela still has a government and a military. They will resist. Ukraine resisted Russia. Venezuela will resist too. Bombing from the air is one thing. Occupying land is entirely different. The coming days will be extremely tricky for Trump. I'll keep bringing updates as they come.